ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tech Showdown. My name is Kevin. My name is Kevin. This is my co-host Teddy, and today we're checking out a gaming mouse, and it's this guy right here, the Corsair Glaive RGB Optical gaming mouse. And let's jump right into it with the looks then. So you see up top, it has a braided cable. I always like to see that. Looks wise, it has a very sort of industrial look to it, to me anyway, a very kind of like function over looks kind of design to it. I really like it. I think it still looks pretty good. I know some people out there may not like that design, but I quite like it. Now it has interchangeable grips on the side there, which we will talk about more in a minute when we get to comfort. Those are really cool, and I really like to see that. So that, you know, obviously changes the looks a little bit, but that doesn't really matter that much. Now it has the LEDs, which are all around it. It even has some on the front, which I find kind of bizarre since you'll never really see them. I know it's supposed to shine onto your mouse pad, but you know. The issue is with this is that the LEDs are really like quite dim, so I don't know what's going on there. I'd like it if they were much brighter, because you can always turn them down, remember, if they're too bright for you. But these ones just seem quite dim even on the highest setting. However, looks don't really count for much. How about comfort? That's the much more important point. So comfort-wise, it has a very contoured design to it, which I really, really like. That's really good. And a solid weight coming in at 122 grams. Now the adjustable side grips are good. You have three choices. There's a sort of matte one with, you know, that's sort of pretty standard. That's the one it comes out of the box with. That was my least favorite. Then you have this more chunky one on the side with more texturing to it. That one is pretty good. I quite liked that one. I think a lot of people would like it. And then there was the big one which comes with like a thumb carrier, and that was my favorite one for sure. So I liked the really big one. However, many of you guys I think may prefer that more medium one. I'm not sure who would like the one that comes with out of the box, as that one just didn't feel good at all to me. So comfort wise overall, I would say it's very comfortable when you get the right grip on it. That's the main thing. So it comes with them, they're magnetic, very easy to switch it on and off, and yeah, I would say just find the right one for you, and then it is a very comfortable gaming mouse. Now as far as the sensor goes, if we spin it around, it's coming with a custom PMW3367 16,000 dpi optical sensor, and it's absolutely incredible. Now nobody is going to take advantage of that 16,000 dpi unless you're using, you know, 10 4K displays or something like that, and you need to really quickly go from, you know, one to the other or something. Yeah, no one's going to be using it. I was just using it at 3000 dpi. I use a single 4K display, and that was just perfect for me. So that's where I liked it to sit. But yeah, it can go all the way down to 100 dpi if you're a really low dpi user. You can also adjust it in increments of 1 dpi. I'm not sure really what the point of that is, but it's good to know for the people like that like to really dial it in, I should say, down to a single dpi. So that's really good. Now, as far as gaming goes, I thought it was fantastic. It's probably one of the most accurate sensors I've ever used. It's just very, very good. I wasn't having any issues with it at all, and it really sets this mouse off. You know, it's having a good design and stuff, that's obviously a big part of it, but having an incredible sensor really makes a gaming mouse what it is, so I really liked that about it. Now let's move over and talk about the buttons and the scroll wheel. So for the right and left click, you get on switches, which are really nice. They have a good feel to them, a nice amount of travel. I always like that. In between them, you'll find the scroll wheel, which is raised up quite high. It's a little bit stiff for my taste. I would have liked it to be, you know, a little bit lighter. Some people out there might like that though. Again, with any peripheral review, you know, it's up to me what I like. I try to make it as general as I can, but yeah, as far as the scroll wheel goes, it's a little bit stiff for me, but that's definitely not a huge con, because many people out there I think would like it that way. Then going back a bit more, you have the DPI button. It's nice and out of the way. You could set it for something else if you want to in a software, although I never bothered to do that. And then on the left hand side above the grip, you have your forward and back buttons. They're very standard. They do stick out quite a bit though, and that's something to keep in mind, because I accidentally hit them a few times. Maybe it's just my hands, but it is something to keep in mind because they do stick out quite a bit more than many other forward and back buttons on other gaming mice. Now, as far as the software goes, obviously you got to use Corsair's gaming software, which has come a long way, so that's really good. Performance-wise, you can just set up, obviously, your DPI, which steps you want, how high you want it to go, all of that good stuff. There's also the surface tuning. That's really nice. A lot of people like that to really dial it in even more. Then you have all the standard RGB stuff if you want to set up the lighting on it. I never really bother with that. As you can see, it's still in its stock lighting form right now as I'm holding it. But yeah, obviously the RGB lovers out there are going to take advantage of that, so that's really nice. All in all, the software is pretty standard. Which brings us now to the conclusion. And what do I make of the Corsair Glaive RGB gaming mouse? So we have to bring price into the equation. And right now, here in New Zealand at Playtech, this Glaive is coming in at 159 New Zealand dollars. That is a lot of money for a gaming mouse. No joke. So for that money, what do you get? Well, it is a really good gaming mouse. Fantastic even. It's a great all-rounder and it has very, very few cons. So it has all of that going for it, which is very good. But that is still a steep price. That's a lot of money to pay for a gaming mouse. So is it worth it then? I would say at its current price in New Zealand, it's just a little bit too much for it. I would wait for it to go on special and then I would pick it up. Maybe if you live in another country, the USA or somewhere in Europe, it may be cheaper where you live, in which case I would say, yeah, then it may be a better buy for you. If we take price out of the equation though, then I 100% recommend it. I would use this as my personal gaming mouse any day of the week. It's that good. It's a very, very good all-rounder. But when we do bring the price into it in the real world, yeah, it's a bit harder to swallow. So I'd say definitely wait for it to have a price drop or go on special or something like that. But if you don't mind about the money, yeah, sure, go ahead and buy it. You're not going to be disappointed. This is a fantastic gaming mouse. Now, I thank you all for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel, Tech Showdown, if you haven't already, and like the video. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.